Good morning, it's Yandama. It's January 15th today. Let me see. Yep, it's the 15th of January 2026. And I'm just here to talk about Capricorn season. I'm excited about Capricorn season. All right. Um, so, officially, the sun, Surya, as the Indians refer to the sun, they call the sun Surya. Surya just entered Capricorn yesterday on the 14th of January. All right. And so technically, yesterday is when Capricorn season started. All right. Don't go with Western astrology, even though all your life since you were a baby, they told you that when you were born on December 22, 23, 24, 25, whatever, January 1, January, 10th, January, whatever, you're Capricorn. You're not Capricorn. You're Sagittarius. All right. You're Sagittarius sun. Your fire sign. You're not Earth. Your sun sign is Sagittarius and it is fire energy. It is not earth energy. And your sun is ruled by Jupiter, Guru. Okay? All right. Not Saturn. All right? Saturn is somewhere else on your chart. Capricorn is somewhere else on your birth chart, but it is not your sun sign. All right? Based on your date of birth. Because Western astrology placements, they're false. Okay? They're all 24 degrees ahead. So they give you figurative placements. It's not the real time placement of where the real time sun or planets are sitting, okay, in the cosmos. So if you ask, for example, if you check with NASA and see where the sun was, let's say 2 days ago on the 13th of January, or let's say on the 12th of January, where was the sun? 2026, the 12th of January, or when you were born, NASA will tell you the sun was in Sagittarius. The sun does not enter Capricorn until later in January, like now, like yesterday, the 14th of January. All right? And that's the real time placement of the sun or any of the planets. And that's the real energy that is imprinted upon you. Okay? All right. And this is why a lot of people don't resonate with their so-called sun signs and whatnot, the Western astrology birth chart, because the placements are 24 degrees ahead. The birth chart, let me show you. This is the picture of the sky. I don't like the way the screen looks. Okay, well, this is the picture of the sky. See this round circle here? That's the picture of the sky. All right. It shows the cosmic energies. The zodiac signs are on the outside, bigger part of the circle. And then it shows the little divisions. It's a 360-degree circle, and then the little 30-degree sections just show they show the houses. So each zodiac sign rules a house, and a house is 30 degrees. And then it shows the planets sitting in the houses, in the zodiac signs. That's a picture of the sky when you're born. And that is the energy that's imprinted upon you. All right? And that's the path you're going to walk in this life. All right? You don't need to believe this. You don't need to know it, but you're walking it. Whether you're on the positive or the negative side of the energies, you're walking it. I did not know any of this stuff until I was 50, almost 51 in 2024, when I started to learn these things. All right? And let me tell you, looking at my birth chart and knowing the life I have lived since I was born, the circumstances surrounding my birth to that point, up until now, forever, till I die. Let me tell you, astrology is so real, it's so true. And I'm here to share it, to learn it, and to share it, okay? Because I've always wanted to understand my life. I've always wanted to understand every single thing about my life. Why am I here? What is my purpose? And all this beautiful stuff, So if you're not interested in that, it's okay, You can go away and go watch something you're interested in. But if you've always had questions about your life, if you've always wanted to, understand the things of life, like, why are we even here? What am I doing here? Why have I been experiencing this, that, or the other thing? Why is this working out this way in my life or not working out in my life or whatever? Yeah, you need answers. And those answers will be found on your Vedic astrology birth chart. All right? Okay, my mind is blown every day as I study my chart. because the chart is not telling me anything new. It's just explaining the events and the circumstances of my life. Okay? All right. So, and that blows my mind, because what? The cosmos already said that about me when I was when I was born. Wow. Okay, but today it's about Capricorn. I'm going to do a video. I'll do a video starting with the zodiac signs and the houses and the planets, and how that's, just the gist of what those things mean according to what I have learned or what I am learning. All right. I'm not an astrologer. I'm just a lover of astrology and a student of astrology and a sharer of that knowledge. And let me tell you, my birth chart says that about me. I did not know any of these things. My birth chart says that about me. Okay? That I was going to learn. Anyway, never mind. Let's talk about Capricorn. All right? So it is Capricorn season. All right? But this is not an ordinary Capricorn season. I mean, no season is ordinary. All right? Because when the sun is making its transit, around the zodiac constellations, nothing is ordinary. Every day is special. Okay? But the sun entered Capricorn yesterday, and it's entering Capricorn and transiting Capricorn with an entourage. All right? An entourage is with the sun. First of all, Venus. Okay, so they've all been traveling together similarly, like closely, for the last 3 or 4 zodiac signs. All right? So they were in Sagittarius together. The sun, Venus, Mars, Mercury, all 4 of them. All right. And now Venus entered Capricorn, I think it was on the 12th of January. Mama Venus, my chart ruler, aka my life ruler. Venus entered Capricorn on the 12th. And that's the planet of love, the planet of beauty, the planet of pleasure and desire. Like, Venus is the planet of our earthly desires. All right. Anything you want in this life, that's your Venus. Anything you love in this life, that's your Venus. If you love fashion, if you love beauty, if you love to eat, if you love whatever you love, if you love to work, if you love to, whatever you love in this life, whatever you desire in this life, that is Venus. If you love fragrance, if you love jewelry, if you love drugs, if you love whatever you love in this life, that is your Venus. That love comes from your Venus placement on your birth chart. And that is how it manifests in your life. It is supported by the other planets and but that is your desire in this life. Okay? All right. So Venus first entered Capricorn on the 12th, I believe, of January. And Venus in Capricorn, well, Capricorn in general Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. Saturn is sitting in Pisces right now. And Saturn will be in Pisces for the next 2 years, because Saturn transits slowly. It's the slowest planet of the 7. Now, the outer planets, like Neptune, Pluto, and Uranus, they travel even slower than Saturn. But of the 7 main planets, Sun, Moon, Venus, Mercury, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn is the slowest of them all. All right? So Saturn spends about 2.5 years in each zodiac sign, goes slowly and retrogrades and goes back and retrogrades and goes back, and until it finishes and moves into the next zodiac sign. All right. And all these things, every transit of these planets impacts an area of our lives. Okay. Especially also depending on which season or cycle of life you're in. Everything in life is a season and cycle. All right. In Hindu, in Vedic astrology, they refer to it as Mahadashas. It depends on which Mahadasha or Antardasha you're in. All right. I refer to the Mahadashas and Antardashas, the seasons of life and the cycles of life, as the planets taking turns to babysit us. Right now, I am in my Rahu Mahadasha with Saturn Antardasha. So, for example, Rahu Mahadasha lasts for 18 years. It's a season of 18 years. Now, every planet has a different amount of years that it gets the opportunity to be the main influence on your life. Yes, this is how the universe works. Okay. So every planet takes its turn to be the main influence on your life. And then within those years, the different other planets, the other 7 planets, well, the rest of the 7 planets, they take turns, like months or a year or two within that time frame, to be the next influence in your life. And so they all take turns to influence and guide and direct and impact your life. Yes, that is how life works. Let me tell you, the universe is giving me answers to my questions, because I've always had these questions about, why am I here? What is my purpose? Why am I going through this? Why this? Why that? Why not that? Why not the other thing? Now I'm understanding how life works. All right. So, for example, okay, so the Rahu, everybody's Rahu Mahadasha, Rahu season or cycle of life lasts 18 years. All right. I entered mine in 2020. I did not know this stuff in 2020. I was a born-again Christian, Jesus Bible thumping, fire, Holy Ghost tongue talking, preaching Jesus, born-again Christian. I did not know any of this stuff. All right. But looking back at my charts, my Rahu Mahadasha started in 2020. And let me tell you, Rahu Mahadasha is intense. So the first 2.5 years, it was Rahu, like Rahu Mahadasha and Rahu Antardasha. Rahu was the main and sole influence over my life. And Rahu, when it's your Rahu Mahadasha, apparently, because I'm learning these things now, each planet will do the same thing, but each planet brings a different flavor to your life. So wherever Rahu is sitting on your chart, and whatever that area of life means, Rahu is going to bring intensity to that area. Rahu is going to bring depth into that area. Rahu is going to take you to higher levels in that area when you're under Rahu, Mahadasha, Antardasha. All right. And what happened to me in 2020? 2020 was when I had this desire. I felt this leading. I was a Christian. I thought the Holy Spirit was leading me. That was Rahu leading me. All right. So this is when I had this leading to change my fashion. Okay. I got up because I was into that, holiness, Christianity, pursuing holiness, shedding off the things of the world, the worldliness. Okay. So that was when I changed my fashion. That was when I threw out all my shoes, my high heels, and what I refer to as Jezebel property. Okay. That was when I threw out all my jewelry. And it was, fashion jewelry. But it was still a good chunk of jewelry that I loved. And I spent good money on that jewelry. All right. I threw them all out in the trash. This is when I threw out, I stopped wearing jeans. I threw out my jeans, most of them, and any clothing that I thought was like sexy or whatever, I threw out. And I started to dress modest. I bought ugly, loose-fitting dresses because I didn't want any attention to myself. I didn't want any man lusting after me. I wanted to just disappear. Because when you're not dressed in a sexy way or whatever, you kind of disappear. People don't notice you. All right, I liked it. Okay, so that was Rahu Mahadasha. All right, I went into that. Like I went all in because, all along all those 20-something years of Christianity, born again, whatever, I was still dressing in what I referred to as worldly. Like I was still wearing my fitted jeans, my high heels, wearing makeup. Rahu Mahadasha 2020, I threw out the makeup, threw out everything. You wouldn't catch me with lip gloss, lipstick, foundation on my face, jewelry. None of that. Like, all of that is Jezebel property. Let me tell you, it's a season and a cycle. All right? And there's more to it. But anyways, that is an example of what happened to me during when Rahu took over my life. And Rahu, where is Rahu sitting on my chart? Rahu is sitting in my 9th house in Capricorn. And Capricorn rules in my 9th house. They rule my religion, philosophy, higher knowledge, things like that. So, and the ruler of Capricorn is sitting in my first house of my identity, my physical being and my identity. Saturn is sitting in my first house in Taurus, my ascendant, my rising sign. And so Rahu's impact in my ninth house has to do with my physical identity. It has to do with my person, my being, my identity, my self-image. Like, who am I? And so it's not just about the religion, the philosophies that I believe in and whatnot. It's how do they impact me? How do I identify myself based on that? All right? And let me tell you, when that 2020 came, oh my gosh, 2020 summer. And Rahu took over my life in 2020 July. July 27th, I think, on the chart, it says. And it was in 2020 summer that I felt the need to stop wearing all those sexy clothing, those sexy pieces of clothing that I used to wear and I hated compliments. Like when guys will tell me, oh, you look good, I hated it. Yeah, I wanted to disappear because my self-image had everything to do with what I believed in. And I believed in holiness and purity and, pursuing the things of eternal life, the holiness, and forsaking the things of this world and So yeah. And then when Rahu's Antardasha ended, and then it was Rahu Mahadasha, but now Jupiter entered the picture. With Jupiter and Antardasha, what happened to me? Jupiter sits in my 8th house. In my 8th house, in Sagittarius, in the nakshatra called Mula, which is all about truth, unearthing the truth from the roots, unearthing, removing, uprooting the lies and exposing the truth. What happened to me during Jupiter Antardasha, when Jupiter took over? In 2023, I believe. That's when I knew the truth about Jesus, that Christianity is a lie. That's when I dropped the Bible, the Christian Bible. I held on to the God of Abraham. Months later, another bombshell was dropped. The universe dropped another bombshell on me. I realized that the God of Abraham is bullshit. And I dropped that one too. And that's when I was led and guided to, consciousness conversations until I came to astrology. And I started to learn the truth about who I am, who we are, what we are, why we're here, based on our cosmic blueprint and all of that. That happened to me in the Rahu Jupiter season and cycle of my life. And that lasted 2 years and change. And then in July, last July, I believe, or was it? Yeah, I think it was last July. Or was it September? Whichever. Last year, several months ago, the Jupiter cycle ended in my Rahu season. In my Rahu Mahadasha, which I refer to as my Rahu season, the Jupiter cycle ended. And then it became the Saturn cycle. So now I'm under Rahu, Saturn, Mahadasha, and Antardasha, season and cycle. And Saturn is going to do his bit in my life these next 2 years and change. But actually, there's another thing going on with me and Saturn right now. Like I'm in what they refer to as a sadisati. When Saturn it lasts like 7.5 years, like 7 years or 7.5 years. When Saturn is in the zodiac sign right before your moon sign, that's 2.5 years. And then Saturn transits into your moon sign. That lasts another 2.5 years. And then Saturn transits through the next zodiac sign after your moon sign. That's another 2.5 years. So that's 7.5 years. So Saturn is going to be busy in my life. My life is going to, Saturn is going to do things in me. All right. And my moon sign is in Aries. Saturn is in Pisces right now. Pisces is before Aries. So I'm feeling the Saturnian, but I think it's going to be good. I'm not scared. Let me tell you, in astrology, Saturn is the most feared energy because Saturn punishes. Saturn brings our biggest karma. Saturn is a disciplinarian. Like Saturn is that teacher. You know those African teachers, when the African teacher who walks into the classroom and everybody's in their best behavior. Yeah, Saturn is the one who's the strict disciplinarian. And if you don't learn the lessons, you will learn the hard way. Saturn does not give you, as they say, a participation trophy. You work hard. This is why Capricorn is a hardworking, disciplined energy. Because the Capricorn energy believes in hard work. The Capricorn energy does not believe in easy, quick, quick fixes and things. No, Capricorn energy believes in you work hard and then you achieve your good stuff as time goes by. No easy, what you call it? Instant gratification stuff for Capricorn. No. Capricorn is gratified later on. They put in the hard work. They're patient. This is why Capricorn is represented by the mountain goat or what? And they climb that mountain of achievement. Because Capricorn is about achievement. Wherever Capricorn is sitting on your chart, that area of life, that is where you achieve. Like you may not even think of it as, oh, I want to achieve this, that, and the other thing. But that is the area of life where you go your hardest. And in my life, I posted a status last night. I was laughing about that. In my life, the Capricorn is sitting in my ninth house. The ninth house rules religion, philosophy, higher knowledge. And when I say higher knowledge, it's not necessarily about formal education to go get multiple degrees and stuff like that. Higher knowledge is really about the higher knowledge of the universe. That, like the spiritual knowledge. Okay. The ninth house is naturally ruled by Jupiter. On the natural birth chart, where Aries is the first house, the ninth house is Sagittarius. And Jupiter is about not just classroom knowledge. Jupiter is about knowledge, truth of spiritual things. Because Jupiter is not here to just make you earthly smart or earthly wealthy or whatever. Jupiter is very spiritual. Jupiter is into spiritual stuff. So Jupiter wants to give you the spiritual knowledge. All right. Why do you think in my Jupiter and Tadasha between 2023, 21, 22, between 2023 and 2025, Jupiter and Rahu got me out of the Bible. Mm-hmm. Because the lies in my life, the lies in my life were the Bible, my Bible beliefs. Because I'm a person of truth. I'm a person of truth. I don't lie about shit, excuse my French, but no. I don't lie about things. But every time I opened my mouth and preached that gospel of Jesus Christ, and I did it a lot over the years. Every time I opened my mouth and preached that God of Abraham and preached the absolute, what I used to believe as absolute truths from the God of Abraham or Jesus, I was lying to people. And I did not know that. But Jupiter and Rahu, in my Jupiter, Rahu, Jupiter, Mahadasha and Tadasha, season and cycle of life, they got me out of it. They took me to the bottom of it. We start with the virgin birth that never existed, that never happened. Uprooted that lie. And I came out of it. All right? Came out of the Genesis lie. And God said, let there be light. And there was light. Let us make man in our image after our likeness. Bullshit. Came out of it. Okay? So anyway, I look forward to the rest of my Rahu, Saturn, Mahadasha and Tadasha season and cycle, because I just know Papa Sati. I refer to Saturn as Papa Sati. I just know Papa Sati has some good stuff for me. Yes, I know. I can feel it. I know. And I've been a good girl. I've been a good girl for Saturn. I've been a good girl. I've been very disciplined. I've been very self-controlled. I've been very honest and truthful and sincere in all my life, in every area of my life. I have been very hardworking. I have learned to rest when I have to rest and work when I have to work. I have been very, my boundaries are very clear with people and in everything. I'm a very good Saturnian girl. And Saturn rewards good behavior. Saturn rewards when you do your good stuff. When you do the things that he's teaching you, he rewards you. And right now, I know what Papa Sati is teaching me. And I know I've been falling short a little bit, but he's going to reward me because I'm going to get on my Saturn stuff. All right. So, but anyway, let's talk about, why did I spend all this time talking about this? Wow. 26 minutes. Let's talk about, but this is just an example. I'm not the only one who has this. Everybody has this stuff. All right. Just as I have a birth chart, you have a birth chart. Okay? I have a birth chart, you have a birth chart. I have my Mahadashas and Antardashas going on. You have your Mahadashas and Antardashas going on, your seasons and cycles. And it is the planets that are, taking turns to guide and impact your life and influence and impact your life according to your soul contract, according to your karmic path, according to why you were born. All right, the purpose of your life. Okay, so I'm not just saying this just to talk about myself. That's the same thing with you, but it just depends on which planets are babysitting you right now, which Mahadasha and Antardasha you're in right now. Okay, and you can find all that out through your Vedic charts. Yes, I'm learning so much, man. So, and I want you to learn too. If you're interested, if you're not interested in this stuff, if you think this is bullshit or you're just happy to go pray to your God, whichever God you believe in, I'm happy for you. Okay? Go do you. All right? Me, this is where I am on my path. And even my birth chart says this about me. Okay? That I was going to go through various religions. Okay? And I did. The 3 Abrahamic religions. I went through them. All right? And I was going to learn. I was going to rediscover my love for astrology and learn my astrological knowledge, which apparently I had in a past life. And I'm going to seek that truth and that knowledge. And I'm going to teach it to others too. So I'm on my path, okay? You be on yours. But if you're on a similar path as me, if you're curious about these things, about life, about the things of the universe and whatnot, then let's tango here. Okay? All right, let's chit chat. Okay, let's learn together. And I can show you how to pull up your Vedic astrological birth chart, because you want your true placements. You don't want those BS Western astrology placements like the ones they gave me, saying because my birthday is July 5th, so I'm a Cancerian, Cancer sun. I'm not a Cancer sun. I'm a Gemini sun, according to Vedic astrology. All right? There's nothing wrong with Cancer. I have 3 planets in Cancer, but my sun is not in Cancer. All right? Okay. So you want your true planets, you want your true placements, and you want to understand them and understand your life and all the decisions and choices you've made, why you are the way you are, and why you do the things you do, okay? And all of that, why you desire the things you desire, and negative, positive side of the energies, and how to overcome this, that, or the other thing, Anywho, so Capricorn has a lot going on. All right. This is just, I guess this is just a general conversation about astrology, I guess. I thought it was going to be all about Capricorn, the Capricorn transit, but I guess not. But Capricorn has a lot going on these next 4 or 5 weeks, because the sun, like I said, Venus entered Capricorn on the 12th of January, and 2 days later, the sun, Surya, entered Capricorn. And then in another couple days or day or two, Mars, Mangala, I think that's what the Indians call Mars, Mangala or something. Mars is going to enter Capricorn, all right? And then in another couple days or so, Mercury is going to enter Capricorn, all from Sagittarius. They're coming into Capricorn, all right? But another thing about that is Pluto, the outer planet Pluto, is already in Capricorn. Pluto has been in Capricorn from early last year, I think. And Pluto is going to stay in Capricorn till like 2039, because Pluto moves very slowly. Probably the slowest outer planet, because Uranus transits every zodiac sign for like 7 years, moves to the next one. Between Pluto and Neptune, I think Neptune stays for like 14 years in a zodiac sign and then moves to the next one. I think Pluto stays for a little bit longer than Neptune. Yeah, before it moves to another zodiac sign. Moves really slowly, like really slowly. So, and Pluto is a very transformative energy. Okay, so when these planets, when the Sun, Mercury, Mars, Venus, when they enter Capricorn and transit Capricorn, and when they go by, when they pass over Pluto, we're going to feel it, because Pluto is a very transformative energy. So whatever area of life your Capricorn is ruling, like me, it is my 9th house of religion and philosophy and higher knowledge, all these things I'm learning, okay? And it's also the house of publishing, writing, publishing books. I'm working on that. But yeah, so, and a bunch of other things. It has to do with foreign countries, you know, and all this stuff, international stuff. So when these planets make contact with Pluto, aspect Pluto, transit over Pluto in Capricorn, there's going to be some transformative stuff going on in everybody's life, depending, you know, on what's going on in your life, what season or cycle you're in, and how important it is that that thing happen, the time, because everything in this world is about timing, you know, and seasons and cycles, all right? So, but I know that in my 9th house, there's going to be movement. There's going to be movement, and I'm excited about it, all right? And so, yes, so I just wanted to talk about that and happy Capricorn season. And given world affairs, especially what's going on in this here country, Capricorn, let me tell you, on the chart of the United States of America, Capricorn is I think Capricorn is the 3rd house, because on the Vedic chart, in Vedic astrology, Capricorn is a Scorpio. America, US, is a Scorpio rising, a Scorpio ascendant. And after Scorpio, it's Sagittarius. And after Sagittarius, it's Capricorn, the 3rd house. And let me tell you, with all this energy in Capricorn, and the 3rd house represents not just your skills and your hustle, you know, it also, like on your personal birth chart, your 3rd house represents your neighborhood, your childhood, your skills and your hustle, like your daily hustle, and, you know, things like this, what you do to make something out of yourself, to go get, you know, what you want in life, out of life. It is also referred to as the house of courage, all right? All right. And for courage to manifest, you need battles to overcome, okay? Okay, so Capricorn being the 3rd house of the United States chart, and the United States has a chart because it is based on the date of independence, the day, the time, and whatnot. You pull up the birth chart. Anything could have a chart. The day you started your company, the day you started your business, whatever, all right? Anything, the day you started something could have a chart, because that energy at work, at that moment, at that time, when you started that project, that is the birth chart, okay? That's the energy that's going to work in that thing, all right? Okay, so Capricorn being the 3rd house of the United States, and the 3rd house being the house of courage and battles and all this stuff to overcome and to get what you want, and da-da-da. Yeah, I don't know, because, you know, these people, they've already been talking about, they've already kidnapped one president. and change this government when these planets were in Sagittarius, the second house of the United States, which is the fifth house of Trump on his personal birth chart. Okay. Now, they're entering the third house of the United States, which is the sixth house of Trump. The sixth house of Trump is the house of your daily routines, your enemies, your debts, your health and whatnot. And Trump thinks he has a lot of enemies. He's going to go after the people he thinks are his enemies. Okay? There's going to be... I don't like it. Okay, so I like the transit for myself and how it's going to impact my life personally. I like the transit for people in general, like how, depending on what Capricorn rules in your life and the personal good things it will do for you. But when it comes to governments, and let me tell you, Capricorn rules governments. The governments of the nations, they're ruled by Capricorn. Capricorn is a governmental energy. Capricorn rules authority. It rules the systematic, like the authorities, the systems that rule the masses. Okay? So governments, well, I don't know. I mean, with a conjunction of Mars, the god of war, fiery Mars, the god of war, and Mars is exalted in Capricorn. Because Capricorn is about achievement, climbing the ladder, taking control, doing what you have to do to get what you want. And Mars is our action planet, the god of war. Mars is the thing that wakes you up in the morning to go and get yours. All right? So when Mars likes to take action, Mars doesn't want to sit around and not do anything. So when Mars is in Capricorn, Mars is exalted. And Pluto is there too. Pluto is a higher octave of Mars. Pluto is in Capricorn. And the sun will be there. The sun is king. They're all malefics. They're all violent. The sun is a milder malefic, but they're all violent. They're all aggressive. So when these three, Venus is sweet and Venus can do some stuff too, but Venus is sweet and planet of love and beauty and all this pleasure and let's all get along, and Mercury is the intellect, and So let's think about this. All right, let's not go crazy and But you see, the malefics are stronger than Mercury and Venus. And also Mercury, I heard from astrologers that Mercury, based on the other planets that conjunct Mercury or aspect Mercury is like a childlike energy that is curious about life and and the intellect, it loves to learn, it loves to but Mercury is impressionable. So depending on the planets that are close to Mercury on your chart or any chart, your Mercury could take on the attitudes of that other planet. And so Mercury next to Pluto and Mars and the Sun, oh my gosh, that's an aggressive Mercury. That's an aggressive Mercury. That's not a calm, peaceful Mercury, like Mercury and Venus. Hey, let's talk about it. Like, let's not fight each other. Let's love each other. Let's all be in harmony and peace. And let's all just enjoy life. What's the point? What's the point of fighting or hating each other? No. Mercury next to Mars and the Sun and Pluto. Mercury is like, yeah, let's go overcome those people. Let's go deal with those people. Who do they think they are? Mercury is aggressive next to the malefic planets. Okay? And let me tell you, I know this too because personally, my Mercury is sitting next to my Mars in my third house. And so this is why a lot of people can't stand the way I talk because I am bold in my speech. I don't hold back for shit. Okay? So I'm not afraid of anybody. My third house of courage is lit. All right? Mars, the god of war, my action planet, and Mercury, my intellect and my communication ruler. All right? They're both sitting there in my third house with K2, another fiery entity, all three of them sitting there in Cancer. So even though it's Cancer, it's a nurturing, sweet, intuitive water sign, water energy. Now, Leo, Well, if you've been around me, you know my words. You know that I don't stutter when I speak. All right? I will tell you what I want to tell you. What nobody else will want to tell you, I will tell it to you. I don't give a what you think. Okay? All right. So I know that Mercury, Mercury next to Mars is not a coy little Mercury. Mercury next to Mars is bold as a motherfucker. All right, Mercury next to Mars is like, bring it, bring it. I got some words for your ass. All right, okay, okay. That's Mercury next to Mars. Okay, I love it. I have it. I have Mercury next to Mars. All right, yeah. But now it's not just Mercury next to Mars. It's Mercury and Mars and Pluto and the Sun and Venus. Okay. So, but anyways, it's going to be beautiful. I wish everybody a happy Capricorn season. I wish everybody if you knew what Capricorn ruled in your life, then you will know exactly how this energy is going to manifest in your life and how it's going to impact your life. In fact, whether you know it or not, it's already doing its work. It has already started. Capricorn always has been ruling that area of your life anyways. That is the area that you're so committed to. You're so passionate about. You're very diligent in that area of your life. You're very patient and you're very dedicated and committed to working out that area of your life. I don't know what it is, but for me, it's my 9th house. It is the area of religion and philosophy and higher knowledge and etc. So, yeah. But anyways, so I just wanted to share this. I just went all over the place talking about Mahadashas and Antardashas. I did not even know I was going to talk about that. But I guess it's just a regular conversation I'm having. I'm not an astrologer, so I'm not here trying to give you predictions for the Capricorn transits. No. But just be patient. Just be hardworking. Just, in whatever that Capricorn energy is in your life. And let's hope and pray that nuclear bombs don't go off in some countries. Let's hope and pray that some brand new wars don't start in these next 5 weeks. Okay? Let's hope and pray that things on the ground get better. It will probably get rougher before it gets better, but let's just hope and pray. All right? And yes, even though I don't believe in God of the Bible, I pray like I speak to the universe. Let me tell you, everything about my former relationship with Christ, I just direct it at the universe. I just say universe, spirit, higher self, life source, period. I don't have to have an individual I refer to as God. I don't need that. All right? I just know that the universe is conscious and the universe is in control of everything. And there is an entity, higher self, life source, who is in control of all this, who put everything in place, including the planets. Okay? And we're all an extension of it, including the planets. All right? So, yeah. So let's just hope and pray that things go well in these next 5 weeks of this wonderful Capricorn transit. All right? Okay. Talk to you another time. Hopefully I'll be more organized. Hopefully I'll be more organized in my topic and what's not. But have a great one. All right? Bye.